talks about automating lead gen, but there are three mistakes I see every agency making, and it's silently destroying conversion rates. So let's break it down and I'll give you the alternatives as well. So my name's Corey. I run a 5-figure AI automation business, and I'm looking to help you guys understand the tips and tricks of this whole industry. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So three AI mistakes that are costing you leads, and you're doing them. I promise. If you're not doing them, you're amongst the 1% that's not, which is great. Congratulations. So you're running AI automations, but your pipeline's dead. I've audited over about 100 businesses now, and it's always the same three mistakes, and we'll go through them. It's always they're doing at least one of them, and the moment we change it, it fixes everything. So mistake number one, just like this guy, you're treating cold and warm leads the same. So obviously the solution for Elmo here is going to be water, right? So this is our water bucket. Now the solution for Mr. Coldman is fire, heat, yeah. So why do agencies come to Coldman with a bucket and they go to Elmo with fire? You see, so the strategies aren't the same. So what you do for this is a lot of people will approach the warm leads, i.e. Elmo, and they'll just treat it exactly the same. So they'll, they're trying to put the cold on it. They're trying to put water on Elmo, which isn't going to work. So cold, how can we think of this? What works in picturing this scenario? So cold leads receive immediate bookings, requests, and sales heavy CTAs. So the goal, once we hit cold leads, the goal is attention, right? We want a signpost to say, hey, we do this, come here. This is on warm leads. We're going to the wrong one. Is our signpost. So come here, look at me, pay attention. On top of that, we can think of it as we have a fire, right? We have the fire, we have the solution to you. You're freezing cold, you're out there, you're looking mighty happy with life, and I have the fire. Let me help you immediately, just straight away. They email back, maybe I'm a little interested. Tell me more about it. It's like, certainly, my fire blanket, my heater, it's beautiful. You will love it. In terms of what we actually use, is my product is great. This is exactly what you need. You're drowning in work. You're drowning in just mundane. You need this automation. But if Elmo comes to you and asks for something, it's not about giving him the fire. It's not about being on the go. You should be on the go regardless, but it's more about this follow up and the sequencing logic of it. So now Mr. Fireman is warm and he's got. Oh, we should do a red. That'll be fun. Now he's hot, right? He's turned into a warm lead. Now what we need to do is just keep adding to the fire. He doesn't need a huge bombardment like this. He didn't need a huge flame like this. Maybe he just needs a little flame here, a little flame there to just keep it as a warm lead. What I see with a lot of people is once they get a sort of warm lead, they try dousing this big fire. Big fire here. And what it causes is this thing to just go out of control. It doesn't actually, it's not a controllable client where you can grab them and say, yeah, this is what you need. It starts to become unmanageable then, and then it's overwhelming. The fire is too high, they get too hot, and then they just leave. So you don't want to sort of do these heavy CTAs and immediate booking requests for them. You want to go in line with this sequences. So AI can't fix poor sequencing logic. It amplifies broken funnels. I harp on about this in every single video. And what happens is when they go from here, they're going down the funnel. Perfect funnel, getting better. you're sort of not losing a sequence. So it's being cut off. It's being cut off like here, and then they're dripping out. My pen tool. Um, and maybe the funnel continues down here, but they're like dripping out. Because the funnels are fundamentally broken. And if you just amplify it and just pour them all in, they're just going to leak out. The other issue that I see with the cold and warm leads is that every lead, people are treating every lead as a ready to buy. And it's not. So they're going into these relationships and these communications thinking, hey, you're ready to buy, right? Like, you have an issue, I have a solution. Well, let's do this. Let's make this work. But that's not the case. It's a lot of situations can affect it. A lot of the environmental factors can affect it. And then this burns a lot of trust when people come in, because the automator or the agency or someone will come in and they'll say, "You're ready to buy," and they say, "Absolutely not." and then it's sort of like a friction point. So how to fix this? You want to build branching flows, right? So we want to go cold, nurture, authority, warm, CTA, and urgency. So we need to build the funnel that sort of accommodates each one of these different peoples. A bonus way to do this is we can use Clay filters or CRM tagging to flow automatically. So if you're using Go High Level for is a great example. They have a great tagging system, and it also has a great integration with the tagging system. We can identify and sort of use different tags to warm them up and go through this whole sequence that we have here. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is no personalization. And I love this picture. This is the whole market at the moment. When I talk to clients, I'm like, okay, so you're doing mass email, great, love it. Let me see your copy, and it just says, "Hey Mark, love your stuff. Listen, I got this thing you want to buy, right?" And it's like, well, where's the icebreaker? Where is this connection? Like, I understand you're trying to do like a mass, and it's polite maybe to say hello, hi Peter, like in conversation, but personalization is one step further than that. So a lot of people, they're just going hello, Peter, which we can understand. Especially if English isn't your first language, we can understand why this sort of gets pushed through. So what happens? Everyone sends the same AI generated message from tools like Instantly or SmartLead. This plummets reply rates the moment people see the same subject line, the same "Hi Peter, hi Mark, found you on X," and it's the same generic lines. It just straight away plummets. So there's no human signal, low reply rates, high spam scores. This goes one step further. The email box, once it gets a high spam score, the email inbox will be flagged for pretty much spam, and deliverability issues will occur after that. And then your health score goes down, and pretty much every single email will just start landing in spam box. So we don't want that. But the only way that this occurs is if people actually mark you as spam. So although you blast a lot of it, and a lot of it is AI, if you sort of bypass he's like not annoying enough for me to report him sort of thing, we can sort of bypass it. So why it's a mistake? You're automating volume, not value. Volume does play a huge part of it, but it's a lot of people, when they're doing this, they're sort of going value, and let's go volume here. A lot of people are just going like this, and they're going, here's all the big bucks right here. I make so much money here. But what it should be is, as the volume goes up, the value should also go up as well, to sort of counteract the lower volume, the lower personalization that's happening. So a good example of this is if you're sending 10,000 emails, you don't want them all to be the same. You want to add some form of personalization. If you're sending 100,000, you should probably add even further form of personalization. So you can sort of get away with down here, you may put just like, hey Peter, sort of found you on X and Y, thought I'd reach out and this sort of stuff. But then as we start going around here, you want to start adding Perplexity modules in sort of automation flows and doing real hard research on the company. And you'll find as you sort of increase the volume here, you might start adding, hey, just saw your firm lodged papers to acquire this other company. That's great. I've been watching your journey since the start. And this sort of stuff really resonates with it. So you just want to keep in mind as you're scaling up, you also want to scale the personalization. Prospects feel like a number, especially in the industries like real estate, coaching, or B2B. Now, is this your fault? Probably not. I've put this image here so you can sort of read between the lines that we need to remember that AI is a prompt engine, and this is the whole debate. I could go on a whole separate tangent. AI has been grouped into such a blob now that it's just a be all cure all situation. But people are forgetting like AI is a large language model behind nearly every one of the AI models, regardless of whether it's lead gen or SaaS products. There's always some sort of programmable logic in it. So people just put the personalization in ChatGPT, make me a personalization, but they're not realizing that the prompts that you give it, how you prompt it, is how it responds. And this is a very common downfall of the whole industry at the moment. So when we have the meme like this, can a robot create captivating content? And it says, can you? It's sort of a double reflection, right? It's looking in the mirror. It's, you can't do it. So what chance do you have of telling me how to do it? Because I am a mirror image of what you're programming, right? So a way that you can combat this is you can inject automation. You may not be the most creative person or the most extroverted, I guess you could say. And sure, you can use large language model, Claude, ChatGPT, and everything to do these, but you need to make sure you feed it the right information. So rather than just going like this is LinkedIn, and then we're going into a GPT here, and then going into like writing the email. If you just prompt it here, you can sort of negate this. You don't need to write captivating content, but you can do like your research here. Right? That's nice for research. Okay. My pension. I obviously didn't do enough paint growing up with my mouse. But you do your research here and you then feed it into the AI module. And this is where you can inject Clay logic. Clay is a software that you can think of it as like a prospecting software where you can give this research logic, pain points, location, trigger words. We've even seen people that include like the weather in here. And what it does is in real time, it says, I'm in Western Australia, it says maybe, what's my computer say, 16 degrees now. It says, hey, this 16 degrees is killer. Or, hey, the rain's coming next week. I'm not looking forward to that. Anyway, are we talking, let's talk about business. This adds that personalization. You sort of go, hey, no way a robot would know that. And you may not say it out loud or directly in those words, but you understand. It's like, okay, this feels pretty real. So even the subtle bypasses, such as weather, is a great example of getting through it. And then add a one-line insight for each message using scraping tools, Notion summaries. Perplexity is a great one, but Regardless, it all falls back to this research module here prior to the prompting of creating the personalization if you are using AI. So you don't end up like this guy, Will Smith. All right. Mistake number 3, ignoring speed to lead. When a lead submits a form and waits hours or days for a reply, they're gone. It's speed needs to be the number one. When we go back to our hot person here, this man is freezing. He needs a bucket like immediately. So why are we taking forever to do it? I mean, you could argue Elmo probably needs a bucket as well, but of water. But this man needs like a fire. He needs like heat. He needs lava probably at this stage. And he comes to you and says, "I need fixing." And then you take 3 days to ignore. He's probably gone by then. He's probably gone to the next sauna place. So we need to do it immediately. No instant engagement equals cold lead decay. So a few statistics. I went through a couple of yesterday's episode as well, but 78% of sales go to the first responder. Goes to the first responder. Let me say it one more time. 78% of sales go to the first responder. Now, if you're in an immediate industry such as tradesperson, construction, something that needs an immediate service, even real estate agents suffer from this a lot. If you don't answer the phone, there's a 78% chance that they will not do business with you. 78. Which then means there's a 22% chance that they may do business with you. But then if the next person answers the phone, they've pretty much got the sale. Another statistic is if you respond within the first 5 minutes, it increases the chances of acquiring the customer by 396%. Now that is huge. And when you mix both of those together, responding quickly not only gives you, this 78% chance of getting the customer, then you also increase by another 396% because you responded within 5 minutes. So how do you do this? We add automations. It's very simple. These are very, very simple automation. You can have software such as Twilio sort of looking out for missed calls, and when it registers a missed call happens, it can send an SMS within 3 seconds, just immediately, straight out. You can also add a calendar and chatbot fallback. So if you can't reply manually, you can do an SMS, "Hey, let me call you back. Here's my calendar link," and just put a link in the SMS. You can even replace it with emails, but ideally you want SMS because I think it's about 97% of all people read their SMSs. No. Yeah. Every person reads 97% chance of reading the email, the message. Words are hard today. So we could add these fallback logic using Make. You could even use Zapier if you really want to. But we need to focus speed. We need to put the Iceman hot, and we need to cool Elmo down a little bit. So yeah, that is the top 3 recommendations. Automation doesn't solve bad strategy. So you fix the 3 mistakes and you unlock real power of AI. And then hopefully you can start working out ways to autopilot a lot of this stuff. So like we spoke about in here, you do automation with Webhook and Twilio and probably a Slack as well, Telegram. In here, we're going to use automation in here, and we're going to do some sort of research module to increase the ice breaking or personalization aspect of the email. In here, we're going to set up sequences, automation sequences based on them moving down the funnel with tagging systems. So all of it can be some sort of automation, but identify them, work out what the issue is, and start putting these pieces together. So that concludes my ramble of the 3 mistakes that are costing you leads. If you enjoyed this, or if you have any further questions, please let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you.